안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to a brand new week on the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects with a special focus today on various K-content from mystery dramas to musicals. And we kick off the new week with our co-host Walter Lee joining me in the studio. Hello, Walter.
Happy Monday, Seoul, and hello to our viewers out there. I'm Walter Lee, and I have some very, very exciting KNT news today, so stick around for that.
Right. There is some wonderful accomplishment in Korea's musical scene that you're going to report about in a bit.
Yes.
But first, let's also say hi to An Sung-jin, Arirang's news features reporter. Welcome, Sung-jin.
Hello, Sung-jin.
Hello, guys. Hello, So-ah. Hello, Walter. Hello to all of our viewers watching the Culture Wave. My name is An Sung-jin, and I'm a news features reporter here at Arirang News, who is also excited about the K-enter news today.
But before we go into that, Sung-jin, you actually also have a story that's also involving musicals.
Absolutely.
So you're going to continue with your series from Japan, and it looks like today you got to take a look at some local content with a twist.
Right, so Korean content has been gaining popularity, whether it be movies or dramas, but we are seeing an emergence of adaptations and collaborations which have been changing the dynamic of Korean contents. Have a look at what I got to see in Japan. Many recent musicals are based on movies or the life stories of famous people. But this Japanese production crew decided to make a musical from a webtoon. They took the Korean webtoon Itaewon class and brought the 2D characters to life in Japan. The story of young entrepreneurs and their ups and downs has been recreated as a Japanese musical. So here I'm on site where rehearsals for the musical are taking place. The production crew had told us that they focus on the finer details to create a closer replica of the scenes in Korea. The musical will be performed in Tokyo, Osaka, and Aichi throughout June and July. In the planning stage of the musical, because it was compressing a long webtoon series into a 2 or 3 hour long musical, the program director said she focused on the music, art, and visual aspects.
Because Itaewon class is a good piece and most of the characters are charming, I worked on showing the originality on stage without necessarily changing it from the webtoon.
Actors in the musical, some who were already fans of Korean content, immersed themselves in the story too.
With the original webtoon being such a renowned hit across the world, I was honored to take part in the musical version of it.
Not only are remakes of original Korean content gaining popularity, but more and more Korean-Japanese collaborations are showing up on the screen. Producer Nakajima Keisuke created the drama I Love You, which tells the love story of a Japanese woman and a Korean man. He said that there were several Korean staff on the production team to bring as much reality to the drama as possible.
Even though it was an endeavor, the collaboration can add a new element to the drama, enhancing the fun and touching aspects of the script. It's weird to think that there aren't as many stories like these, but it's great to see that more and more Korean and Japanese actors are playing a role in each other's dramas.
As Nakajima said, it's becoming more common to see Japanese actors in Korean content as well. Just like Nojima Naoto, who started in Seoul as a musical actor. The Japanese actor took a role in the musical and movie Hero, which delineates the story of An Jung-geun, who fought against Japan for Korean independence. For Nojima, this movie was a chance to better understand the history between the two countries.
I thought an important part was knowing the characters not only through the lines, but also by studying more of the past. I went to the library to really understand the history, which not only made me realize I had parts I wanted to apologize for as a Japanese person, but it was also a chance to look back at myself.
As such, Korean content is acting as a bridge between Korea and Japan. Over time, not only will this type of content become more prevalent, but it will captivate a wider audience.
So Songjin, you got to talk with the production team of all those musicals and movies. So which one caught your attention the most? I mean, I have to say, to me personally, it was the adaptation of Itaewon Class.
I will have to say something similar to what you just mentioned, Soa, because I actually had watched bits and parts of the drama I Love You. So I was looking forward to the drama adaptation or the musical adaptation of Itaewon Class, also because I'd watched the webtoon. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited for it.
So am I.
Sounds very exciting. And for those who are interested in the musicals, could you give us some more details about it, obviously, when and where viewers can watch it?
Right, so for the musical that's going to be shown in Tokyo, it actually starts performing today and it will be in the theaters until the end of this month. Now, so for those that are trying to catch the one in Osaka, it will be held in the Mino Theater for the Performing Arts from July 6th till July 11th. And its final round of performances in Aichi will only be available for 4 days from July 18th till July 21st. So if any of our viewers are interested, don't miss out on the chance while you can watch it.
Anyone who's there, and I mean, it's not that of a far travel.
It's not that far away.
So
hours.
yeah, we'll keep a note of that. And thank you for another interesting episode in Japan. And we're looking forward to the next episodes.
My pleasure as always, guys.
See you next time.
Thank you. And now it's time for K-Enter News with Walter Lee. Walter, it's time to celebrate.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that K-musical that we were eager to report about on.
Yes, we've talked about it before, and now it's great to talk about it even more now. Park Chan-hyo, also known as Hugh Park, and Will Aronson's K-musical Maybe Happy Ending, a love story between humanoid robots set in the near future, has won 6 out of the 10 Tony Awards that it was nominated for. It won awards for Best Musical, Best Direction of a Musical, Best Book of a Musical, Best Original Score, Best Scenic Design, and Darren Criss, who was best known for his role as Blaine Anderson in the American comedy drama television series Glee, won Best Leading Actor in a Musical. Now, for those who don't know, the Tony Awards is considered the most prestigious award ceremony when it comes to musical theatre. Now, Maybe Happy Ending has been wowing audiences since the show first premiered back in South Korea in 2016 and made its official Broadway debut last November at the Belasco Theatre in New York. Now, Maybe Happy Ending was nominated, as I said, in 10 categories in total. Others include like Best Costume Design. Now, this is a great achievement. With its 6 wins, Park Chan-hyo became the first Korean creator ever to win a Tony Award, making a historic moment for Korean theatre on the global stage.
Wow, what a happy ending, although it's not even the ending for now.
Exactly.
But really, it was very exciting when we were following the news, when the awards were coming out bit by bit, and then finally even the Best Musical, which is the final award being presented at the ceremony. So again, congratulations to everyone who was involved in this musical. And now let's move on to some K-pop news. What do you have?
Yes, so more accolades to talk about. According to a chart preview released on Sunday, 17's 5th studio album, Happy Birthday, made its debut at number 2 on the Billboard 200, the main US album chart. Now, this marks 17's 7th entry into the Billboard 200's top 10, beginning with their 4th full-length album, Face the Sun. All 7 of their most recent albums have consecutively reached the top 10. Now, during the latest tracking week, Happy Birthday earned 48,500 album units. Now, this is quite interesting. Of those, 46,000 of them came from physical album sales, which is quite a lot, making it number 1 on the top album sales chart. It's great to see people still buying albums these days.
That shows how big of a fan base they really do have.
Yes.
So from Maybe Happy Ending to Happy Birthday, now we've got some happy news for Jennie.
We do indeed. Here is some great news for Jennie. Blackpink's Jennie is the only K-pop artist to be featured on the Rolling Stones list of the best albums of 2025 so far. so far. So with her first solo album, Ruby, in the list published last Thursday on Rolling Stone's official website, Ruby was included alongside high-profile albums like Lady Gaga's Mayhem. Now, the magazine praised Ruby for its fascinating reinterpretation of R&B-driven pop sound that defined the 2000s and the 2010s. Now, Jenny produced the album herself, which includes songs like Jenny, Mantra, Love Hangover, and Extra L. All bangers, I might say, all things that we reported on. So congratulations to Jenny for being such an influence in the K-pop industry.
Influence indeed. I mean, there are so many K-pop albums out there, but it really just shows how big Jenny is out there.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Walter, for those updates, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's move over to our AI anchor, Ari, for other culture-related news. Ari, take it away.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. President Lee Jae-myung has announced plans to relocate the presidential office back to Cheonggyecheon. But public tours are expected to continue as usual for the time being. The Blue House Foundation said it has not yet received any formal instructions regarding the president's return to the premises. Until the plan is finalized, tour reservations will remain open up to 4 weeks in advance, and regular weekend performances will proceed as scheduled. Please note that a roughly 1 kilometer section of the Blue House walking trail is currently closed to visitors due to ongoing maintenance and repairs, as part of previously scheduled renovations. To commemorate Korea's first official Kugak Day, or Korean Traditional Music Day, the National Kugak Center staged a special performance over the weekend at Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul. The event featured a reenactment of Cheonggyecheon, a royal banquet from the Joseon dynasty, which was performed for the first time in 12 years. The banquet is a ceremonial event that showcases King Sejong's Confucian ideals of rule through ritual and music, as well as his deep love for the people. More than 300 performers and staff from related institutions took part. The fourth Temple Food Festival, held over the weekend in Seoul's Seochogu district, attracted some 20,000 visitors, signaling growing public interest in the tradition. According to the Korean Buddhist Cultural Foundation, more than 15,000 people registered in advance, with 57% in their 20s and 30s, highlighting strong engagement from younger generations. The event was organized to celebrate the recent designation of temple cuisine as Korea's national intangible cultural heritage, and to further promote its cultural value. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
for today's culture issue, we want to analyze two Korean mystery series, 9 Puzzles and Dear Hongrang, that are currently the center of attention in the K-drama world. So let's go deeper into the mystery genre and look into the factors behind the two dramas' global popularity with our culture critic, Professor Ji Hye-won at Kyunghee University. Welcome, Professor Ji.
Hello. Good afternoon.
It is a really good afternoon. I mean, before we
Right.
jump into today's topic, we have to mention this big achievement that actually Walter also reported in K-Enter regarding maybe happy ending. So
Right.
what are your thoughts on this achievement, Professor Ji?
As you guys mentioned earlier, maybe happy ending, finally happy ending, which was developed and premiered in Seoul, in Korea, just got Tony Awards for the first time for 6 categories, including Best Musical, Best Original Score, and Best Book. Those are 3 big awards, actually. So as we've introduced the musical earlier in this program last year, Maybe Happy Ending premiered in Seoul in 2016 and has been revived multiple times. And finally, arrived on Broadway last year, November 2024. So besides Tony Awards, the musical already got the Drama Desk Awards and Drama League Awards for several categories, especially for Park Cheon-hyo. It was the very, very first achievement that Korean artist won the World Class Theater Awards. It is huge.
It is huge. And I think, it's so amazing. It's not even been that long that Korean musicals are actually on Broadway.
This is the first time.
Right. And now we already have these awards.
Right.
This is so historic. We're probably going to talk about this later on again. And also if that musical comes back to Korea domestically as well. So I'm really excited about this news. But now, Professor Ji, we're going to jump into today's main topic. So 9 Puzzles. Let's start with this drama, with this mystery drama. It's become one of the most watched Disney Plus Korean series. So let's talk about this one first.
9 Puzzles tells a story of a detective Kim Han-sam, played by Son Seok-gu, and a criminal profiler Yoon-ina, played by Kim Da-mi, who investigate the culprit behind a series of murders. So the story begins with the process of tracking down the culprit behind the death of Yoon Dong-hoon, Yoon-ina's uncle, and a former police chief 10 years ago. So as the puzzle pieces are delivered to Yoon-ina one by one, along with the serial murders, so the two pursue the story behind the puzzles and the murderer.
Sounds very like an intriguing story. And I also saw that this is actually the second ever most watched Korean series on Disney Plus after Moving, which was also huge. So let's see if it can actually beat Moving or not.
Yes, so I think numbers don't lie when it comes to this, yes.
I think the audiences are a little bit different. The Moving is to everyone, younger audiences and older audiences, but this drama is more like the ones who like the thriller or mystery dramas. So it's a little bit different audiences.
It has a more specific targeted audience.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
And as someone mentioned, obviously, it's extremely popular. But what do you think are the strongest factors of this drama itself? And is there anything about it that is maybe different from the previous Korean mystery dramas?
What 9 Puzzle does is not just the serial murder. It consists of kind of dual structure. So the strength of this drama is that it increases the viewer's immersion through the process of tracing the culprit and processing of tracing the relationship between the victims. And actually, the uncovering the culprit is also discovering the full story of the crimes committed by the victims. So as the case progresses, the identity of the criminal begins to be revealed one by one. Also, the Yoon-ina, a witness, as well as a suspect in the case of her uncle's murders for 10 years ago, tracing the new puzzle murder case as a profiler, and she solves her own memory through the process as well. So I think this multi-layer narrative provides constant tension to the viewers and arouses curiosity about how the puzzle pieces of each case will fit together.
So it's not just a puzzling story, but it is actually about puzzle pieces.
Right.
Putting together those pieces of puzzles until the very end.
And the victims are not just the victims. They committed some crimes like years ago.
Wow, sounds very interesting. I'll have to binge watch that series. But now let's move over to another mystery drama. This time it's not about crime thriller. It's more about a melodrama mystery series. And this one is on Netflix. It is Dear Hongrang or Tangum. And it's also been in the top 10 charts of Netflix's global non-English series. The last time I checked, it was ranking 5th, but it also was ranking 3rd at one point. So tell us a little bit about Tangum or Dear Hongrang.
Right, Tangum, Dear Hongrang, which is based on a novel of the same name, tells the story of Hongrang, played by Lee Jae-wook, the successor of the wealthy merchant family in Joseon dynasty, but who returned after being missing for 12 years, and his half-sister Jae, played by Jo Bo-ah, who suspects his true identity but gradually becomes closer to him. So in the first half, it builds up the viewer's curiosity about the identity of Hongrang, who lost all of his childhood memories. And afterward, Jae, who doubts Hongrang's identity, digs into the reason why Hongrang is lying, and the story unfolds through solving the mystery of a missing child. So missing children. So Hongrang is one of the missing children. So they just digging into the real story, true story, what is the behind.
But Professor Ji, this one is actually a sageuk or a historical drama.
Right.
So many of these elements in the drama could be a little unfamiliar to the global audience, but yet it's proven to be so popular. Why do you think that is?
Right. The Dear Hongrang is set in historical drama, and its narrative is not necessarily requiring an understanding of Korean history or culture to follow. For instance, Netflix's another series, Kingdom, is also set in Joseon dynasty, but it was a story of zombies. So it received a lot of attention from the global audiences who are already familiar with those kind of stories. So I believe if the story and the characters are relatable enough, the setting of the Korean period can be unfamiliar, but rather refreshing backdrop.
It's quite interesting. So, like, for many people, apart from just romances, I think mystery dramas are very, very appealing to the foreign audience. So what do you think are some of the strengths of Korean mystery dramas? I mean, to be honest with you, I think mystery and crime thrillers, they can be both engaging as well as, exhausting for viewers at the same time because, obviously it keeps them on edge. What do you think is obviously the key to striking a balance between both those factors as well?
Right. In the past few years, there has been a significant increase in mystery or crime dramas or films in Korea. So it is true that the process of chasing a cruel crime and the uncovering the culprit is often, repetitive and similar, so causing fatigue to the audiences. But in that sense, 9 Puzzles or Dear Hongrang are special is that they pursue crimes that occurred within a social and historical context. So it's not just simply crimes of committed by psychopath or the mentally ill. So I believe the appeal of the strength of a Korean mystery drama is one of the reasons. So it has the driven by dense narrative composed of multiple layers and the realistic characters who increase tension. So I believe for mystery dramas or films to continue to attract the audience's attention, they should focus on the process of uncovering the meaning behind the crime, rather than focusing on the level of brutality or a spectacle. So it's like a social meaning or contextual meaning. So that's the important thing.
And looking beyond, Professor Ji, are there any other mystery productions that are expected to emerge in the K-contents industry, maybe in the latter half of the year, that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, of course. The Mantis original scene, 사마귀, will be on air later this year on SBS, which is based on the famous French thriller on Netflix. So this drama is directed by Byung and starring Go Hyun-jung and Jang Dong-yoon. So another one is The Price of Confession. 자백의 대가 will be released on Netflix later this year as well, and starring Jeon Do-yeon, Kim Do-eun, Kim Go-eun, Park Hae-soo, and Jin Sung-gyu. So this is mystery drama of Yoon-soo, who is suspect in her husband's murder, and Moon, mysterious woman known as a witch. And another big one is Signal is coming back with the second season. So, but the real official release date has not yet been confirmed.
Wow, so many big names here, big stars coming up. So looking forward to all of these K-mystery dramas. And thank you very much, Professor Ji, for your insights today, and looking forward to next time.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Walter, as always. We're going to see you back here tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Please join us again tomorrow on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.